And my goal for this presentation is to share my knowledge of the short story format, ultimately also to encourage you to find joy and creative freedom in short stories. So, I mean, the big question really is, what is a short story? If you Google, which I did the other week, what is a short story, you'll see quite a variety of definitions, but you might notice something once you start reading through them. So Merriam-Webster says a short story is an invented prose narrative, shorter than a novel, usually dealing with a few characters and aiming at unity of effect, and often concentrating on the creation of mood rather than plot. If you go over to Cliff Notes, you'll see a short story is a fictional work of prose that is shorter in length than a novel and that should be read in one sitting. And Reed Z says a short story is a fictional story which is more than 1,600 words and less than 20,000. So there's no one size fits all definition. Different people and different publications choose to focus on different aspects, so it feels a little overwhelming. But I've come up with 5 criteria that I really prefer to use. So that's what we're focusing on for Short Story 101. So 1, focusing in on one or a few characters. Because of the concise length of a short story, there's really only enough room to follow one arc or progress of either a single character or a few select characters. 2, focusing on a single setting and event or connected events and settings. Surprisingly, a single setting can be very powerful. My main rule about this, though, is that I don't ever want to give a reader whiplash by changing up locations every couple of paragraphs. So more on that. 3, the story should evoke a single type of mood. That could be melancholy or nostalgic or humorous. You want to end up leaving your reader feeling one kind of way. I also like to center my short story on one main theme. Some of the big ones are love, grief, growing up, gaining independence. And finally, the story can potentially be read in a single sitting. And of course, this depends on reader preference and reading speed. But I like to think of a short story as sort of, enjoying the perfect chocolate truffle after dinner. Like you can't just have one bite of that thing, like you have to pop the whole thing in your mouth.